Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GG Report. I'm glad that you tuned in. This is an interesting week. This is the International Women's Week. And as we all know that whenever we begin to talk about women issues, the idea of gender justice comes up. Gender justice is like the rallying call for the modern feminist movements, I would say specifically postmodern feminist movements around the world. While the Bible teaches that men and women are created in the image of God and they are equal before God, Imago Dei, and we're going to be talking about that soon. We know that men and women have equal rights and dignity before God, and that's very, very important. However, we are aware that women are still lagging behind in society in many aspects. Today, we are going to take on this subject, and I have a very, very interesting guest for us. Welcome, Reverend Dr. Lydia Mwaniki. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good to see you. Welcome. Now, as you all know, the GG Report is a platform where we take on and discuss big, bold ideas and have honest conversation on a broad range of subjects, socio-economic, theological, philosophical. Today, actually, we're going to go into the theology part of this discussion. And so I want to introduce my guest to us. My guest is, like I've said, Reverend Dr. Lydia Mwaniki. She's an ordained minister. She's a renowned gender expert, theologian, and like I've said, an ordained minister with the Anglican Church of Kenya. And she's currently the director of gender and women at the All Africa Conference of Churches. And she's going to be telling us more about the All Africa Conference of Churches. She began that position in 2015. And so we are very, very happy to have Lydia here with us. Very good. Excellent. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good. I'm feeling very, very excited. I'm very, very honored.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to ask Lydia we're going to ask you to introduce yourself. Give us a little bit of your background, both career and, how you got to where you are. You have over 30 years experience working with the Anglican Church of Kenya. So, give us your background. Where did it all start?
Thank you very, very much indeed, Pastor Gigi. As I have said, I'm honored to be here. I must say that this journey started when I was in my mother's womb. Yeah, because I am the second born. So I think my mother expected that the second born would be a boy. So when she was 4 months pregnant, she made a wish. She expressed a wish. She prayed to God and said, God, if the baby that I'm carrying is a boy, I'll dedicate him to your house. And I think she had also read the story of Hannah. But when I was born, I was a girl. And so it's like she was a bit disappointed. She was disappointed that she had given birth to a girl. And she's saying to herself now, women do not serve in God's house as priests, do they?
Yes.
And then she forgot all about it.
Yes.
So you see, when I was born, and I'm a girl, and I went to local schools. But later, after my Form 6, because I went up to Form 6 to the A level those days.
Yes.
I felt strongly called to do the ministry.
Okay.
Those days, women were not being ordained to the priesthood in the Anglican Church.
Okay.
So after 3 years of training with men, women were made lay readers. Then after 6 months, they were made deaconesses.
Okay, so so for the sake of those who are not familiar with the Anglican Church, leadership and system, what you're saying is that when you went to Kabare college?
Yes, St. Andrew's College of Theology and Development. That time it was just St. Andrew's Bible School.
Bible school.
Yes.
That's Kabare, Kirinyaga.
Yes.
So you did a diploma, or is it a certificate? You started with a certificate?
There was no certificate. Certificate came after I had left.
Okay.
So there was no diploma. I started from certificate. Diploma came later.
Okay. So you did a certificate, and now because you're interested in ministry, basically your interest was, look, I have a calling. I want to be part of the, ministry, preaching and teaching and serving the congregation. So after you graduated, you went back to the congregation, and you're saying you were ordained. You could only go as far as what you describe it.
A lay leader.
A lay leader. Okay. So and then after that, so what happened?
Yes,
so you served for some time at the church.
I served for 11 years.
Okay.
In the lay ministry, because I was first of all a lay reader.
Okay.
Because the bishop, that time the late Archbishop David Gitari was eager to train women, but then after training, he was like, where do I take them? What do they become?
Okay.
And actually that's why he was very vocal on the issue of ordination of women.
Okay.
So I served as a lay reader, then a deaconess. For 11 years, I wasn't ordained. Partly it was because of me, because women began to be ordained, but I felt I didn't really want to go for it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what inspired you to now take it further, push the agenda further?
Well, even before I joined the training, I could see that there was gender disparity in the church. Okay. Because women were not serving as women were not being ordained. Okay. There were very few of them in church councils. So, and they were always tying headscarves, and I was really quarreling within me. What does the headscarf stand for? Is it really necessary for salvation? Okay. Those things really disturbed me. So, and when I read the Bible, of course, there were those passages where women should not speak to church, in church. Should not preach, should not preach. Should remain silent. Yes. Yeah, we are all familiar with those scriptures. Yet there was another one that male and female are created in the image of God in Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. So there were issues running and asking questions. So I decided to go deeper into theology. Okay. Yeah. So at what point did you now then pursue further training in theology? Was it after you ordained? And by the way, when were you ordained? Were you ordained? Okay, so fill that gap, because you've served for 11 years. You've become, the farthest you've gone is deaconess. But now I know you're reverend ordained. So fill that gap. How did you end up where you are now? I mean, in terms of you're now fully ordained. The last time I heard you were in one of the candidates being considered for the office of the bishop of, is it Kirinyaga Diocese? Yes. Yes. So, Kirinyaga Diocese bishop, well, vying, and having been, started from the ground. So, how did all that happen? So, when did you get ordained, and how did you end up there? Now, after it's a big story. Just cut it bit. Yeah, it's a big story. Yeah. So I started working with the church in 1990. Okay. That is when I graduated. After I graduated with my certificate in theology. Yes. From Kabare. Yes. Then I was serving faithfully. Yes. And of course, I was not really very eager even to be ordained. Yes. But because I was married soon after finishing my certificate, yes, I got married to a priest. Okay. Reverend Daniel Stakos Mwaniki. Okay. And he encouraged me to go for further studies at St. Paul's. That's where I got my degree in theology.
So, what years did you go to St. Paul's?
From 1992 to 1995.
Okay.
And I had gotten married in 1989 December.
Okay.
30th. So
Okay.
it was like 1990.
Okay.
Yes, but my mother-in-law also is the one who pushed me further.
Okay.
That you cannot be training people and they get ordained and you continue following them in your deaconess's dress.
Okay.
Go for ordination.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you came to St. Paul's.
Yeah.
St. Paul. That time it was St. Paul's Theological, United Theological College.
Yes.
And you pursued your bachelor's in theology. And that you completed in
1995.
1995.
And I graduated with 3 degrees instead of 1. There's a story behind there.
Yeah. Tell us about. You were married 89. Now you are a student in St. Paul's. And off the set, you told me how you were having your babies at the same time. By the time you graduated, you had 2 babies and a degree.
Yes.
Amazing. Lydia is an amazing, Dr. Lydia is an amazing woman, as you can tell. She's really has had to pull herself up, to get where she is. Okay, so how did that experience go? You were happy graduating and also having your family growing?
Yes, because I was newly married, and here comes an opportunity for me to pursue my degree.
Yes.
And my husband is the one pushing me go for it.
Yes.
So it happened that I had the firstborn when I was going to St. Paul's.
Yes.
Then when I was going to St. Paul's, I was pregnant with the secondborn.
Okay.
And because I didn't want the bishop to know,
yes,
because he would have stopped me,
yes,
I wore a very, big dress.
Okay.
He didn't know. So I went in.
He approved you're going to St. Paul's.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And the first holiday is now when I gave birth.
Okay.
Because I think I joined in August. In December, I gave birth.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then the second year I gave birth to my thirdborn.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good.
And I was doing Greek.
Uh-huh.
So I was very, very aggressive and working very, very hard.
Wow.
Yes. If I'm not in the house breastfeeding, I'm in the library or I'm in class.
And unraveling Greek.
Yes.
And trying to understand
and
it.
The secondborn, the thirdborn, that is the last born, was almost born in the library. I remember. Because I had labor pains in the library. I didn't know, it was in the evening.
Yes.
I didn't know they were labor pains. I went to the clinic. They gave me medication. They said if the pains get worse, come back.
Yeah.
So at 10 at night, the pains increase.
And now you had to go and have
your baby. And they take
baby.
me to hospital. At night, at 3 a.m., I give birth to my thirdborn.
Yes.
I nurse him for 1 week. The following week on Monday, I'm in class.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I'm telling you, we are talking about gender justice. We are talking about women. This is International Women Week, and Lydia, you're such an amazing. You have an amazing story of I don't want to use the word resilience, but let's use it. Resilience. You're very robust, absolutely amazing. And how you worked so hard, to get where you are. So you finished your bachelor's, you had your 2 babies, and then what led you to now then pursue PhD? So tell us about, because by the way, for your information, Lydia did her PhD in theology from the University, KwaZulu-Natal University in South Africa, and that's where she did her PhD, and she's going to tell us more about the things she studied. Okay, so you finished your bachelor's. Now you could be ordained.
Yes, I could be ordained, but I didn't want to be ordained. You know why? Because I wanted to pursue my studies, and I said to myself, if I'm ordained, the bishop might refuse to sign my papers to go for further studies, because he will confine me to the parish.
He will send you to one of the parishes.
Yes, and I said I let ordination stay. So I went to serve in a parish as a a pastoral assistant.
Okay.
And then I went to St. Paul's, not to St. Paul's, St. Andrew's Kabare to teach as a lecturer. And that's when I got an opportunity to go for my master's degree, which I was doing at the University of Natal. That time it was not KwaZulu-Natal, but Natal. I did some courses there, and then 1 year was classwork, then the other year was research.
Okay, that's
Yes.
for your master's.
That is for my master's.
Okay, and what year is this?
That was between 1998 to 2001.
Okay,
And my husband and my mother-in-law were babysitting the times I wasn't there.
okay. Oh, you
Yes.
were actually resident in Natal.
For a few months.
Okay,
Then the program was proceeding in Ghana for a few months, and then back to Kenya.
okay.
Yeah,
Very good, very good. So that's your master's program.
yeah.
After your master's program, did you come and work a little bit in the ministry and then go back for your PhD, or what happened?
Now after my master's program, I was ordained in
Yes.
2002. My mother-in-law said, not again, go for ordination.
Now you must be ordained, because
Yes.
my plan is that I've been pushing you to get ordained. You need to represent us. You know, you need to get into the hot seat.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So after ordination, so you got ordained in
2.
2002.
Yes.
Okay, very
So
good.
I was ordained here in Nairobi, and the Archbishop immediately took me to serve in a church as a vicar in a parish.
Okay,
That is St. Joseph of Arimathea parish.
and that's where? Well, that's here in Nairobi.
Yes, yes,
So Joseph
yes.
of Arimathea is where? Fill me up. Which side? Which part of Nairobi? I know.
Behind USIU. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Yes.
Yes,
it's
it's in Thome.
It's in
Yes,
Thome.
yeah.
Yeah. That's. I was trying to trace that because I've heard about that particular
Thome
congregation.
Garden Estate.
Okay.
There.
So now you are the priest in
Yes.
charge.
Yes.
How long did you serve there?
I served there for about 4 years. Then I was moved to St. Barnabas Parish or Tiende. Yeah, where I served for only 5 months. Then I went for my PhD.
Okay. So and that's 2000 and what? Which year did you go to South Africa for your PhD?
That was in February 2007.
2007. Very good. Excellent. So those of you who are following this conversation, I want you to know that, if you have a passion, if you're determined, and you have a vision, and you have people that are, rallying behind you, telling you, go for it, there's nothing you can't achieve. I mean, you can achieve anything you really wish. And so, Dr. Lydia, you've worked so hard, and I'm so glad. But specifically, what exactly inspired you to do PhD? Why not just settle, do parish work? Why PhD?
Because I really felt strongly that God was pushing me to go for further studies.
Yes.
I needed to pursue my line and pursue completely. And also my husband also helped me so much, because he said, you can't stop at masters. You have a passion.
Yes.
You love education.
Yes.
And that's one of the conditions I gave him when we got married.
Okay.
I told him I want to pursue education.
Okay.
Yes, because my father had really pushed me to study, and my parents were really inspiring.
Okay.
Yeah, so now, so I started wanting to pursue my PhD, I think as early as 2003, and we looked for a scholarship. I was given a scholarship by Langham Partnership,
Okay.
UK and Ireland.
Yeah.
And my husband, because he was a priest,
Yeah.
he asked if he could go to serve in a parish in the UK. Okay. And because I got an opportunity to go to St. John's, to the University of Nottingham,
Yes.
in the UK.
Okay.
But just 2 months in 2004, we were to go now together in October 2004. But something happened in August.
Okay.
Just 2 months before.
Yeah.
My husband unfortunately died
Okay.
It was a stroke. It was very sudden. We even had the passports to go abroad. Each of the children, each of our children had a passport.
Yes, and visas
and everything.
Yes.
But then he dies.
Uh-huh.
So I was asked, why have you just died? We were going abroad to pursue studies. Even him, although he was going to work in a parish,
yes,
he already had an admission to go to a university there to pursue education.
Yes.
Okay, of course, he was media, ethics and media, and also theology.
Okay.
He could do anything there.
Okay.
So he died suddenly.
All right.
So it was like I felt like the world had come to a standstill. And I was surprised when I saw people laughing, moving, cars moving. I mean, I say the world has come to a standstill, yet people are
going on about their business. How?
Yeah. But then after 2 years, the Langham partnership, they said, we are still keeping your scholarship.
Okay.
If you want to pursue your education,
you
can go on. But perhaps consider going to South Africa because now it is cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what I did, but now it meant that I had to leave my children.
Okay.
Yeah. My mother-in-law said, no, you have to pursue it, even if he has died. So he moved from his own home in Embu. Yeah. Of course, the part had died many years back. And he came to stay in my house in Nairobi.
Yeah, that's your mother-in-law?
My mother-in-law.
Okay, so she came to stay in your house to look after your children?
Yes.
While you're in South Africa pursuing your,
my PhD.
Your PhD. Amazing, amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're still following this wonderful story of Reverend Dr. Lydia Mwaneki. I know we haven't come to the theological ideas, but we're going to come there. But this is a very, very inspiring story of a woman who decided, even though things shifted so dramatically, you were not going to stop. And thank God that you had people around you who believed in you, who rallied behind you, who told you, no, you can do this. Amazing, amazing. So you now go to South Africa to pursue PhD. So, because I know we want to go into the details, but how was your experience in South Africa? Was it easy? Was it difficult? Were there some challenges? How did that go? And how long did you actually do that? How long did it take you to complete your work? Because PhD is hard work.
Yeah, PhD is very, very hard work. And although I was not really required to do any coursework or to go to class, I decided personally to sit in some classes, whether honors classes or master's classes, just to familiarize myself with the way they do dissertations there, the research methodologies and anything. So I had to humble myself.
Okay.
Not to see myself as up here, somebody pursuing PhD, but to go back to class to be taught.
Yes.
And that shaped my dissertation so much.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was hard work because for me now, here it is life or death. I have my children at home.
Okay.
Of course, some 2 families had volunteered to take care of those who are in boarding schools, going for visitations and all that. God gave me my mother-in-law, of course, some family members, but also 2 other families who could travel. My daughter was in Meru. Kaga girls, they could go there. One family could go there. My last born was in Limuru International.
Yeah.
So he had parents there.
Yeah.
So I knew I had to work very, very hard. So if I'm not in class, I'm in the library or I'm in the shopping center just doing my glossary and come back. And people kept asking me, have you gone to this place in South Africa? I said, I didn't come here as a tourist.
You didn't come as a
Yes,
tourist.
yeah.
You came to study.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even with the most difficult thing were the theories that were being introduced, post-colonial theory, and I felt I had to use it to do my PhD.
Yeah.
Yes, as a theoretical framework. And also sometimes I had challenges because at home the house girls were misbehaving. They have gone, they have stolen,
So you had all kinds of, you had to navigate
Yes.
a lot of things.
Yeah.
You have a home here in Nairobi
yes.
that you're monitoring and managing, and somehow you're the person in charge.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah.
overall authority in that home. If something goes wrong, you have to get involved, even if it's remotely.
Yeah.
And monitoring what's happening. The house girl has disappeared, so that's another project and all that. But thankfully, you had people around you who felt, no, we have to support Reverend to work with you. That's lovely. And then the theories that you had to study and all that. Did you do Greek? Was
Yes,
Greek
I
part
did.
of it?
Yes, I did Greek. Advanced Greek. Because Greek you forget very quickly.
Okay.
So I had to go back into a Greek class. I was not required to, but I felt for me to pursue this PhD, I need to go and pursue Greek again.
Okay.
Advanced Greek, yes.
Yeah. By the way, for those of you who are not aware, the New Testament was first written in Greek. And is present Greek, the Greek that is spoken present, is it the same as the Greek that in which the New Testament is written?
No.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there's different. First of all, the Greek in the Bible is not even spoken. It was for that time, and language transforms, so it's different.
Okay. So lots of hard work. So you laid the groundwork. You did all the you needed to do to get a grip of the theory and theology, so that then you are ready, to write your dissertation. Excellent. Now we are going to go into a break. Time moves very fast. I hope you're following and sending us comments on the number below there. And if you're watching this on the social media platform, please make sure you leave a comment. If you'd like to get in touch with the Reverend Dr. Mwaniki, please do that. You can send us a text and we can get in touch with her. So we'll go into a break shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We have a lot to discuss. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the theology around the issues that Reverend Mwaniki studied, and then we expand on that. And so we go on a break and then we come back shortly. Okay, stay tuned.